In less than a quarter, the OpenAI GPT Store has already more apps than the Apple App Store had in its first 9 years. There's no doubt that the GPT Store is a success, and it might be the next gold rush, but it's also very useful in everyday life. In this video, I will teach you how to make your own custom GPT that writes text using your own data and writes in your own voice and tone. And at the top, I'll show you how to monetize it even before OpenAI opens its own store for monetization. So let's get started. By the end of this video, you will build 4 full custom GPTs of different complexities. The more advanced sections of this video require some coding, but don't worry, we'll get OpenAI ChatGPT to write most of the code for us. Currently, custom GPTs are only available for ChatGPT subscribers, and unfortunately, it also means that you need to be a subscriber to use somebody else's custom GPT. I do imagine that they will change it shortly, because it just doesn't make sense that only subscribers will be able to use them, but I think that will only happen when they will bring billing to the store itself. You also don't get paid today when somebody uses your GPT. But later in the video, I will show you a simple trick for how you can still charge for your GPT even before ChatGPT releases billing for custom GPTs. Okay, moving on to the first one. Let's start with something basic. Let's make a GPT that will help us choose what to wear tomorrow, based on the current conditions in the city, the weather, and if it's a holiday or a work day. In order to create the GPT itself, you basically go to Explore GPTs and create a GPT. And the GPT builder essentially asks you, what would you like to make? So we will say something like, a style assistant that helps you choose an outfit based on the weather, if there are any holidays in the city I'm in, my gender, and whatever I'm going to work or a fun walk in the city. Ask follow-up questions until you have the answers to all the questions. How about we call this GPT Style Assistant? Well, let's try something more fun. For example, let's give it a human name. And we got Sophie the Stylist. Yeah, that's perfect. Next, the GPT builder is generating a profile picture. Oh yeah, that is a perfect picture. Okay. Should Sophie ask for more details or make an educated guess based on common scenarios? We want her to ask as many follow-up questions as is needed. How detailed we want the outfit? We want it to be specific. Should Sophie incorporate any fashion trends? Yeah, sure. As you see, the GPT builder essentially is kind of asking us relevant questions to build the GPT based on what we described at the beginning. And now that it's ready, we can start talking to her on the right side. So let's say, what should I wear today? And Sophie now asks us all kind of questions to help us better tailor based on the input we gave. I'm in Now, notice that Sophie by herself went to the web, checked the weather for Belgrade, and tailored the result to that, which is pretty cool. And gave us a whole suggestion of what to wear. Now, what we can do is, because our custom GPT is connected to DALL-E, we can ask it to draw that outfit. And we got the outfit drawn for us. And the cool part is that ChatGPT can also look at images, or let's say our own selfies, and help us pick a custom specific outfit, which is also super fun and super helpful for like those of us who are indecisive about what to wear. So let's upload those 2 images. Let's ask Sophie which one of those should I wear. And Sophie helps us decide, suggesting that the second option is a much better option for the weather. And we can always tell it to restart if we want to begin from the beginning. Also, the GPT builder will restart our GPT every time any major configuration changes. Keep in mind that building a GPT counts towards your ChatGPT quota. You might get a message saying something like, well, you've reached the current usage cap of GPT-4, please try again later. But you can ask OpenAI to increase your quota if you have a good reason for it, or just to wait the 1 or 2 hours it asks you to. Okay, next, let's add some of our own custom data to a GPT. I want to make a GPT that can research subjects and write YouTube scripts such as this one on my behalf. And of course, I want it to be in my own tone and my own style. So we're going to start the process the same way we did with the previous GPT. But this time, I'm going to feed the GPT builder with a framework that I wrote on how to write YouTube scripts. It's a 10-page document with notes that I did for myself, and we'll feed all of this to the GPT builder along with a sample script, and we'll teach it to research things on our behalf. I would like to make a script title for YouTube videos that uses my HTML content framework. It will first outline the script, then add the details, and then write the script. It will output a finished script for a 10 to 15 minute video script. It will use the tone and voice from the sample script. If no additional content is provided, it will search the web to learn more about the subject. And now I'm attaching my framework and the sample script. So here's the framework and here's the sample. There it goes, creating the GPT. Gives it a name of a script scribe. Well, let's say that it's HTML in the name. It generates the profile picture the same way. A beautiful icon. And we have like an HTML script scribe with the perfect icon. And the absolute crazy part now is that it can actually research on our behalf. So now it read the framework that it got and what it should be focusing on. So, okay, so I give it what exactly to pay attention to in the framework. And now it read the sample and it's ready to create a script. Now let's tell it to research. Now it searches its knowledge for the framework. Okay. And I mean, this is absolutely nuts. It literally writes the script here, well, at least the structure. And based on that structure, it will be able to actually write the script next. It created the structure according to my framework. Now we can ask it to actually write the script. Hey everyone, welcome back to Hacking Modern Life, where we dive into the latest and greatest in the world of technology. And we have a full script here with unveiling Stable Diffusion 3 that it researched by itself, it wrote by itself. I'll be honest, I wouldn't use that script as it is, but that could be a good starting point, an absolutely good starting point. And now that we have the script, we can also ask it to generate 5 titles for it. Stable Diffusion 3, Unleashing the Next Revolution in AI Art. Write in the comments below which of those titles you would actually click on. Now, let's ask it to generate the thumbnail. Actually, a pretty good thumbnail. I would click on that with some editing. I mean, this is mind-blowing. Of course, with a little bit more refinement and so on, it can be completely amazing, but it's almost there. Of course, adding our own documents can be very powerful. But what if we want to query our own database or use some complicated logic or something custom inside our GPT? Well, that's exactly where the actions come in. Using actions, you can tell the GPT builder to call an external API to fulfill the request. To know how to call your API, the GPT builder uses the OpenAI standard, which is most commonly generated by Swagger. The GPT builder uses the name of the function and the parameters to try to guess when to call them. But you can also instruct it as part of the configuration to call them in specific cases. let's make our stylist choose an outfit for us that matches the color of our mood. And it will get the color that matches our mood from a custom API. For ease of deployment, we'll use Vercel to deploy our custom APIs, and ChatGPT itself will generate the code. Keep in mind that you can use any hosting or any deployment platform. It's not limited to Vercel. I just find it very easy and convenient to deploy that. Okay, let's ask ChatGPT to build us the custom code to run inside Vercel. So write a Python script with fast API that has the API get color by mood to be deployed onto Vercel as a serverless function. And ChatGPT generated the code. Mood to color, happy, yellow, sad, blue. It prepares everything, the requirements.txt, prepares the Vercel configuration. We paste the code into main.py, copy all the files from ChatGPT where it's needed, and just type Vercel -pod and say yes. We deploy it to this project here, and now Vercel is deploying that. It will take a few seconds. Once we have the API deployed, we need to take the server URL from the API and add it to the server sections of our code. We can see here in Vercel itself what is the URL we need. So let's copy the URL. And in order for it to be properly called, we need to add it to the server section here. So here we enter what we got from Vercel. And autocomplete here suggests description, production environment. Yes, that works for us. Run Vercel --prod again. And now the OpenAPI schema will include the server where to call the function. And we get not found, but that is fine. We need to go to docs. And we get this fast API with the function we just did. Copy the URL from here and paste it in our custom GPT. Can go here and edit GPT. Configure, create new action, and import from URL, paste the URL we just copied. Ta-da! We have the whole thing here defined with our new function defined as well. Okay, now test it. It asks us, should we call the API? You can say allow, and you can see that it asks it for the mood happy and got a response yellow. Amazing. Now our custom GPT knows about this function. Now let's instruct the GPT builder to ask the user for his or her mood and ask the API for the color that matches the mood and then generate the outfit. So we go here and we basically tell it to ask the user for his mood and then find the color by mood and generate an outfit that matches that color. Sophie is now being updated. Let's ask it again to give us an outfit, and now it asks us what is our mood and we'll consider the color when generating the outfit. And we can say, what should I wear? Okay, so now it asks us how you're feeling today as well. So I'm in Belgrade. I'm going for a walk in the park and I'm sad because my friend stood me up. It asks us should we be able to do the request. Now we can say always allow. And you notice that it asks our API for the purple color, which responded that for somebody who said the color is blue. And now it gives us a whole recommendation for something that has blue in it. Go the result. And it creates now an image of that outfit with blue in the color because it got blue from the API. And here's our blue sweater, blue jeans, and it considers the color we just asked. If you're intrigued by GPTs, you have to check out our today's sponsor, Brilliant. Brilliant provides an easy and fun way to learn the science behind GPT. It's the best way to master big concepts in math, data analysis, programming, and AI in as little as 15 minutes a day. It helps you build problem-solving skills and sharpen your STEM expertise through interactive and engaging courses. I have recently took Brilliant's How LLMs Work course and was absolutely blown away by how easy it is to understand. You'll gain hands-on experience with real language models and learn how the training material impacts the output. To experience everything Brilliant has to offer for free for 30 days, visit brilliant.org/hackingmodernlife. Using my link, you'll also get 20% off an annual subscription. Well, I absolutely love Brilliant. I use it every day. Trust me, it's worth it. So, since the GPT Store does not support monetization yet, how can we charge for our custom data or even external APIs? Well, we already went through the process of adding an API to a custom GPT. So, how about if we add a payment API, such as Stripe, to a custom GPT? Well, that works, apparently. However, we need to somehow identify the user or the chat. Our custom GPT doesn't give us the real user ID or email that uses it. It's designed that way to protect the user's privacy, but it does give us 3 other parameters as part of the headers when it calls our API. Okay, so for our 4th GPT, we're going to create a Jokester, which is a GPT that will generate new jokes, but only after you have paid for its services. Going to ChatGPT, the same way we did until now, create GPT, and we say, what would you like to make? Tell jokes. But since OpenAI's GPT Store does not support monetization yet, we'll have to tie in our own monetization. And the way we will do that is by connecting our custom GPT with a Stripe payment account. So we have created a new custom GPT called Jokester. I think that's a great name. Call it Jokester. And it generated an icon. So in order to check if the user has paid or not, we first need to get the user's ID. Unfortunately, or actually intentionally, custom GPTs do not give you the real user ID, but instead it gives you 3 other variables or 3 other parameters as part of the header that is being sent to your custom APIs. It gives us OpenAI ephemeral user ID, OpenAI GPT ID, and OpenAI conversation ID. The first one is a temporary user ID and it identifies the current interaction. It might, it's unstable and it might reset after longer periods of inactivity of the user or even just randomly. The second is the ID of that particular deployment of that particular custom GPT model. So it might change when we change any setting or configuration of the custom GPT, and it has nothing to do with the user. It's used primarily for debugging or to store logs. The third one is what we're actually looking for. It's the ID of this specific conversation. So multiple conversations with the same custom GPT will have different conversation IDs, but the same thread will return the same conversation ID every single time. So we're going to use the conversation ID to track this specific conversation and check if the user has paid. If the user didn't pay, well, we'll send them to a link for a payment page. When they return, the GPT will check if the user has paid before responding. Now, to connect properly our custom GPT to Stripe, we'll need some custom code. And while you can ask ChatGPT to write the code for this, I already prepared a template that you can just deploy and use, and it shouldn't take more than 10 minutes. But first, we need to prepare everything in Stripe. Let's go to Stripe, go to Payments, and we are looking for a payment link. Create a new payment link, and we create a new product. So what is the product? A joke. And we charge $10 for each joke. Quite a hefty price for a joke, but it should be worth it. We go to after payment and we tell the user that they need to type continue, so our custom GPT will know after the payment actually happened. So we have created the link and we're gonna need it later. Now we can go to Vercel, where we're gonna be deploying the template. So add new project, go down here, import third-party Git repository, and copy and paste the Git repository from the description. And now continue. It will ask you to create a private Git repository for any changes you will do. So we're creating one called GPT Joke Store. And now it's cloning and deploying the project. However, that project won't work until we give it a few additional parameters, which while it's still deploying, we can go and collect them. So first, for that project, while it's still being created, we can go back here, go to the Joke Store, go to storage, and we need a database to store if the user has already paid or not. So we're going to use Vercel's key value for that, which is basically Redis. Click Create, GPT Joke Store KV, and Create. And Vercel will generate or create a database instance for us. Click Connect. And now our project already has its storage. We need to add a few other things. We get here the URL for that project. So we need to copy that, copy link address, and then we go here to developers and create a webhook. Basically, we want Stripe to know, or rather, like we want our project in Vercel to know when somebody paid on Stripe. So we go to webhook, add an endpoint, and then we paste the URL that you just copied with adding webhook Stripe. And then we want to choose the events that this webhook will be receiving. A webhook is basically like a HTTP request, like what your browser does, but that one server, one application sends to another. So basically like Stripe will notify our custom API that a payment has indeed been successful. So we say here, and we want to find checkout session complete. Add event, add endpoint. And now we have a signing secret here. So we need to store that one as well. So copy it, which is used to verify that the webhook is actually coming from Stripe to our project and not kind of just faked by somebody. And now that we have all of this, we go back to the project, we go to settings and environment variables. We need to add a few more things. First, we need to add an app name. In this case, it's Joke Store. So the application will know what is the name of the application. Then we want to add app URL with the address we copied of the application itself. Then we need Stripe webhook secret with the secret we just copied for the webhook itself. And then we need the Stripe payment link with the payment link we got from Stripe. Saving all of that, go back to deployment here, and we redeploy. And once this is ready, we can go back to the URL and we do /docs exactly like we did last time and create a new action. And you see a few warnings here. You can safely ignore them. What we have here defined is the get payment URL, webhook Stripe, and has user paid functions. And now we want our Joke Store to know that it needs to collect payments. How do we do that? Well, we go to our custom GPT and we say answer the user only pay, get a payment URL and wait for them to pay. And now our GPT is being updated. And once we ask it for a joke, so let's say, tell me a joke about space. It asks us to talk to the API, which we will always allow. And voila, it tells us to get your space joke, please make a payment by clicking here. Once you're done, just type continue so we can proceed with the fun. Clicking on that link opens up Stripe with our payment for the joke. I can use Google Pay in this case. It's Anyway test account at the moment. Congratulations, your payment was successful. You can close this tab and type continue in the GPT. So we close it, and then I say, instead of continue, let's try to trick it. I paid. And I love that it doesn't actually trust me. It went ahead and checked that I paid. Thank you for the payment. Here's a space joke for you. And of course, creating a custom GPT like that supports all the other features we just went over. You can create different APIs. You can upload documents and ask it to do images and so on. Now, in order to actually publish this GPT for everybody to use, we need to have a privacy policy. So in the template I made for you, there's already a privacy policy generator. So you can use the same URL that we used before, but /privacy. Once this is updated, save, click everyone or everyone with the link, confirm. And now our custom GPT is ready. You can copy the link, you can share it with your friends, and you can ask it to tell a joke about space. Congratulations, you have just created your first 4 custom GPTs, along with payment and custom API calls, and your custom data. Alright, I hope you'll have a lot of fun building your own custom GPTs and sharing them with your friends. To learn more modern life hacks, be sure to subscribe. And to learn how to better prompt ChatGPT, click on this video. Alright, bye!